We go. So we're going to read a play called Here We Go. This is Lindsay. I'm Derek. I wrote this, so let's do it. Yoo-hoo, I'm home.
Hi.
Well, my love, it was a doozy tonight.
Don't call me my love. And what happened now?
Well, as you know, a few weeks ago I decided to give up my six-figure job and become an acting coach.
Now that you mention it.
Anywho, I've been walking the streets telling people to take acting lessons from me. And every time they said no, I told them they were scum and I hope that their children die.
Reasonable.
But today, finally, I got my first two students. Let me tell you about the first one.
I can't wait.
Well, honey bunch, his name was James. He's a disgrace, but I digress. So, we walked into my studio.
The alleyway on First Street, right?
Precisely. We walk into my office, my studio, my boudoir, my passion place, what you will, and I decide we will do a scene from Streetcar. He was Stanley and I was, of course, Blanche Dubois. Hey, remember that time I did a one-man show, Streetcar?
Oh, Jesus, yes. Oh, I mean, yeah, it was really good.
I had a cast, but they were all an embarrassment, so I kicked them out and I took over all the roles. My God, people were so impressed and blown away, weren't they? I remember the critic came up to me and said, "Sir, I cannot in good conscience review the show. I have seen such unreal things here tonight that I no longer know what to say. You have changed me for good." He walked away. He appeared devastated and sickened, but that simply meant I did my job. My Stanley was powerful. My Blanche was sexy as hell. I am monumentally gifted and imbued. Anywho, back to the subject at hand.
Which was...
So, I'm playing Blanche, and he's my Stanley. Guess what?
The story's over!
No, silly. He had no sex appeal. He appeared impotent. He had no desire or passion. He was a dud. Well, I began throwing myself at him, grabbing at his heart. And I finally kicked him where the sun don't shine. Well, guess what? He was pissed. Well, understandable, of course, but I told him, well, if you don't want to get kicked in your sweet spots, be a good actor. I finally gave up and said, well, you'll never be Stanley. Let us try to do Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. You be Brick, and I'll be Maggie the cat. Arr, grr, grr. Isn't that a perfect imitation of a cat? Woof, woof. Silly girl. Cats don't bark. Listen again. Arr, grr, grr. That's how you do it. It seems you might need some acting lessons too.
Just get this over with.
So, I'm Maggie the cat. Arr. I'm sexy. I'm prowling around, seducing him. Obviously, he's turned on. But he can act, so yes, I understand Brick is supposed to be repressed. But boy, do something for me. So, guess what I did? I grabbed his crutches. I started beating him over the head with them.
Of course.
He got mad again. But at this point, I just kept going. Because when people are this untalented, they're a lost cause. Let me tell ya, Jesus was weeping.
Well, I'm weeping now.
So I said, well, you are not cut out for Tennessee Williams. Maybe you can do musical theater. So now it is Man of La Mancha time. I'll be Aldonza, and he'll be Dan Quixote.
Don Quixote.
Honey, who is the acting teacher here? I know that it's Dan Quixote. Don't be so rude as to interrupt again. I'm giving you a masterclass here for free. So, I saunter on, being sexy, and he starts talking. I just say, cut! You are an abomination to the theater. You have murdered me metaphorically, and soon it will be physically. Shakespeare wants to castrate you, and, that other playwright, you know,
Marlowe?
Who?
Jesus, continue.
So, at this point, I am emasculating this room. Although that was a short trip. I started name-dropping people like Stanislavski and Uta Hagen and Meisner and, Guthrie. I don't know anything about these people. Do they write books or act or teach acting? Like, what? I have no idea. But in my classes, there was this guy who always dropped their names when he wanted to sleep with anyone, and then he would. Now, don't get me wrong, I did not. want to sleep with James. Ew, gross. I can do better. I am a monumental, epochal talent, likes of which has never been seen in this generation and shall never be seen again. But, where was I?
I have no idea.
Oh, right. So I'm saying Stanislavski would hate you, Tyrone Guthrie wants to mug you, Sanford Meisner and Lee Strasberg will decapitate you, and furthermore, I'm more of a man than you. He finally tried to get tough and say I was just an idiot he felt sorry for after watching me beg people to take acting classes from me for a week. And I came back with, get this, that's what she said! You could tell he wanted to laugh, but instead all he did was shake his head and leave. Because let's face it, he did not want to be in the presence of a talented giant like myself.
Apropos of nothing, but did you eat all the gummy bears?
I doubt it. I only ate like 10 bags last night.
That's all we had.
That's it? Well, it looks like someone needs to go and buy some more.
So who was your next student?
Her name was Piper. Now, she's cute, but I am a professional of the theater, so I will not bet her, although, come on, we both know I could. She walks in, and you can tell she's in love with me because, who can resist me? I'm a catch. She sits down and I say, my child, I know you want me, but please eschew the urge to give in to those desires, for I am a man of the theater. She started laughing. She thought I was joking. I had to assure her that I am aware of my undeniable sex appeal, and she laughed even harder. I asked her what was funny, but she continued giggling. I finally said, enough, let us begin! And I decided we would do something from Pinter. The problem was, I don't know who Pinter actually is. I once met a guy who went on about the Pinter pause. It sounded kind of cruel, so what could I do? Well, I'll tell you what I did.
Can't wait.
Well, I had a script I had written in my pocket. Hey, remember that script I showed you?
Sure. I never read it.
Well, I'm not surprised. You, like most people, are not evolved enough yet. Maybe one day you will be, but probably not. But don't worry, I still love you.
Oh, thanks so much.
I know, I spoil you. You don't deserve me anyway. This script is about a man named Paul.
Wow, how'd you come up with that?
Well, he's a versatile actor, writer, acting teacher. He goes throughout the world, spreading the gospel of good acting, like moi. But no one listens, like moi. No, they're jealous of him, and won't give him any credit. He gives free acting lessons. Everyone falls in love with him, but they aren't good enough for him, so it's kind of an empty existence. Very much an existential crisis, or existential dread, or spiritual sickness, or like, well, anyway, I'm sorry, I know this is going right over your head. Well, it went right over Piper's head, too. She began giggling. She had the audacity to say, guess what? That it was the worst thing she'd ever read. I told her, I cast thee out of my studio. She said, you mean your alley? I rejoined, a lox on you. She asked, do you mean a pox? I said, I'm a monumentally talented actor. I think I know a thing or two about language. Anyway, she left giggling all the way. I sat down, and I looked up, and I just shook my head at the skies because, well, why is everyone so deluded and irrational except for me?
Yeah, no, that's a fabulous question.
Oh, that's a gun! Oh, do you want to play a scene? This is straight out of Chekhov. That's right? But let me tell you something, baby. You don't have the stuff to shoot me because you're intimidated by my talent and my... Oh! And that scene.